And this is where we have to create the beta. So this is a feature, and here is where you need to create the beta. So enable the feature flag. Feature flag is beta. Okay, so this is you can enable and disable, and then the feature manager will kick in. Okay, so I think we have made the changes. Let's see whether this will deploy one more time, then work. So I'm going to jump back. Oh, something happened. Yeah, this is interesting. It timed out for some reason. Okay, so we need to redeploy that. And then we are rebuilding it with the new keys, right? So the storage, the connection strings to the app service, the app configuration. That's what we have republished, and then we are pushing it up to Azure one more time. I mean, all this can be tested locally, but yeah, it's actually easier to test on Azure than locally because it's a lot of rebuild and test and whatnot. But if it doesn't, then I can actually make one more video and show you how to do it locally too. So let's deploy that first. Okay, let that deploy. Okay, it's deploying. Let's see. Got the access keys from here, and we might have to redeploy the API layer because it was timing out. Oh, what's going on? It's very strange. It just gives you that error for some reason, but we'll figure that out. Let's see. Coming back here and refreshing. Okay, yeah, that's strange that it's giving that error. See, it did deploy the API and the web app, but for some reason it was giving that error. So let's see whether this works anymore. There you go. You see the yeah, it's a little bit clunky because I had introduced all those app configurations, but you can kind of see the message you got from app. I think there's a problem in the configuration key, so we need to fix that. I think it's slash message or something that I'll debug, but the feature flag is false here, right? So, but I mean that's really not what we are trying to get here. So if you go back to the source code here, we need to actually be able to upload a file now, and it should be able to contact the API and actually put it into the storage. So what we are trying to do here is upload image, right? So this is what we are asking it to go to. If you go back to the application and then say slash upload image, it will actually display a screen that will show you that the timely index page where you can actually do a file upload. So you choose a file, and if you go back to the same directory um, where we have checked out, we have some sample images that we can play around with. So if you go to the images here, so let's say this one, right? Let's pick that up, and then we upload it, and it should If everything is configured correctly, then it should actually go and deploy and push it. Let's see what happens. So it did upload. Now the most cool thing, if it has all worked, is to figure out whether the storage account has the data. So if we go back to the storage account and you go to containers and you go to the images container, and you can see that the file was uploaded. So it's a little bit tricky because you need to get all those things right. So in the API layer, you need to give the connection string to the storage account, and in the main web app, you need to give the connection string to the app configuration. So the app configuration key is still wrong, but I'll try to figure out what's going on there, and I'll tell you exactly what the key should be. So what else? So this is what. Let's try on more. Um, so if you go back here, and you can try upload image one more time. Then you can pick another file. That's a BLT. And upload image. It will talk to the API and push it out, right? And then we go back to the container and refresh it. You'll see that there's a BLT. Yeah. So I think this is helpful. So you can see the end-to-end working action. So let's see one more thing here. So if you take this out, this is false, right? So I think what we should do here is just I'll demo this piece. So if you check this out, this feature flag is false. Yeah, that looks right, but I don't know why it's saying it's false. It is enabled. Should have said true, but let's check it out. I think maybe it is needs a refresh. So let's go back to the configuration explorer. Let's try to edit this guy. Yeah, the only problem, I think you can't edit it. You have to delete it. Oh yeah, I can edit. Cool. Now you can't edit the key, so we need to delete and recreate. I think it's app config message. So let me get back to another video and then show you, because I'll debug this a little bit. Otherwise this video will become enormously long. So let me demonstrate that in a small section following this video. That way you can see the actual exact configuration that we need here. And then, but the key part is all working. So that's see, this is the important part was the uploading, right? So the other thing I wanted to show is there's also a method that we put here in the API. If you go to the controller here, this is the upload controller. There's a download file and a list file. So if you copy this list files, this is actually interesting because you're in the API layer. So we need to go into the API app service, this one. And if you copy this and open it up in a new tab, list files, you'll see that internally the VM that is hosting our API service through the app service plan, it's actually storing the data in its /temp directory. So we can actually upload one more just for fun and make sure that it is actually. So if you go to upload image here, we pick the third one. Let's say we pick Ganesh and we upload. And if you see here now, it's uploaded that. And then if you refresh this, you'll see that it was uploaded into its local disk, and it is also uploaded to the to the main container too. So that is pretty much it for this entire lab. So you can kind of see the entire picture. There's a little bit of code involved, there's a little bit of configuration involved, and especially if you're working with some transient keys like how I am, that just destroys itself after 4 hours. It's a little bit of configuration nightmare that you need to connect the right, you need to copy the right access keys and put them in the right spots and rebuild and redeploy. So hopefully this is helpful. This is lab number one, and I'll follow it up with a small video to show